Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh. Bahasham. Yahweh Shai. Bahasham. Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. The elder apostles in Connecticut. The bishops, Connecticut. The bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. Shalom to you Israelite foreigners, right? Who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And this is your Asia Times, right? And it says Japan goes hypersonic successfully, conduct series of HVGP tests from California to boost island's defense. All right. Yeah. So this is U.S. Navy. This is it says defense blog. It says U.S. Navy evaluates laser weapon aboard destroyer. Right. So you could literally see the laser being coming off from the destroyer. So we have the sentiments of the signs of the times, right? Right, of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? It says the U.S. Center for Countermeasures with the CCM has released a new details on testing the high energy laser with integrated, right? Integrated optical dazzler and surveillance system and direct energy, right, which is the DE, direct energy weapon installed so again, and then it says installed, so like it installed on the Ollie Burke class destroyer USS. So yeah, it says USS Preble, so like in Preble, D DG88 says the annual report published in January 2025 outlines the Navy's demonstration of Helios aboard USS Preble, validating its functionality, performance, capability in gauging an unmanned aerial vehicle. It says UAV, right? Which would be unmanned aerial vehicles, targets, right? So that proves us also too, right? Daniels talks about a day like none other, right? That proves that's a day like none other. When have you ever had a vehicle being unmanned, let alone laser weapon, high energy laser weapons that particularly are created to fire upon unmanned UAVs, right? The unmanned aerial vehicles, right? Which really, their whole thing is to prepare to fight against Yahweh Shai, right? Which they call UFO, right? Or UAP, right? So these are gonna be, hey man, is definitely like a time like none other, right? Yeah. So then, yeah, it says according to the report CCM, right, supported the Navy's demonstration on the USS Pueblo DDG-888 to verify and to validate the functionality and performance, which basically is going saying the same thing it said up there. So yeah, man. So we're definitely seeing the time of war, man. The time of World War III, a time like none other, right? Yeah. So this is AOL. I believe it stands for America Online. This is Russia appears to be using wired unjammable fiber optic drones that could fix a big problem its operators have faced in this war. Yeah, so it says Insider, right? This is August 22nd, 2024. A little bit old, but it's relevant because I never heard it. I didn't even know this. So it's relevant to basically the signs of the time, man. Right? A day like none other, right? You never had this in warfare ever. It says Russia newest drones appear to be guided by fiber optic cables to prevent jamming and electronic warfare. See, you never heard of an electronic warfare ever before, right? When you go back into history, right? Yeah, so it says the technological solves one the technology solves one of the war's most prevalent problems, but it it's got downsides. Yes, there's various drone companies have been working on fiber optic. Some of Russia's newest drones appear to feature a modification that could help solve a pressing problem for operators in this war. It says the drones look to be guided by fiber optic cables that make the unmanned, right? Going back into that again, unmanned. There's going to be a lot of that happening in this war, obviously. Unmanned system immune to jamming, right? So they're going to be able to jam the system and just kick, where it just fall out the sky, right? The introduction of these drones into combat would mark the new stage, right? They're going to a whole nother level in which it shows you also. Oh, it's in Daniel, right? Day like none other, and it also goes. If you keep reading, it goes into what knowledge shall increase, right? Knowledge shall increase. See, and that's showing you, proving that knowledge is increased, right? Going to the next stage of drone armed race, of the drone arms race, right? It's all pretty much all these countries are trying to build the a better, drone for war, right? Not to help people, all this sickness, disease, poverty, things that they could actually help people on, but it's so they can just go to war, you know. But they have to do it though, It's it's other scriptures, but it's just still makes you think though, You like you people are ridiculous, man. You know. That's what Tupac said. They got money for war, but can't feed the poor, and that's these people, man. Which proved that's their mindset, right? Which has both sides rushing to to adapt to new challenges, right? Yeah. So this is Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, right? So you can go back to ancient times, they would be yelling, fighting, swords, bow and arrows, yelling and fighting, and you hear it, they just screaming, fighting each other. A good movie to kind of give you an understanding of that, I believe, is one of my favorite. I believe is one of the best movies made ever. Is Braveheart, right? That Braveheart goes, bro. And really, when you go into that, Braveheart, it was really actually Jake. Those were Israelites, right? That was Israelites actually fighting. They show you them, all them people with leprosy, right? But those, you really gotta imagine that those were actually Jakes. Those were actually so-called black people, really, right? That were fighting in that, you know. Um, but it gives you an understanding of like the confused noise, 300, which was also us, Jake, Israelites. Um, was another one that gives you an understanding more closer to like modern times. I believe is was a Hack Ridge. I was a really man. I believe it got really graphic. It really shows you what war looks like in that type of war, right? I believe it. I believe they were spot on the way they made it. Bro. Like that's one you got to watch. If you haven't seen it, you got to see that the Hack Ridge, and that gives you the understanding of the confused noise because they had the guns and the bombs blowing up and and, and the planes flying over. Totally different type of war, but it had noise. It had confused. It was confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. Right, people. And you take a garment and you rip it and you tie it to put pressure on the wound, right? You know what I'm saying? But in this war, it's gonna be you can't put a bandage once a laser goes through a person. There ain't no bandaging that up, right? you know, a goddamn drone with a missile, and because the drone don't have all this like this noise, it's really quiet. It can just sneak up on you, shoot missiles at you, or shoot, shoot the automatic weapons or whatever kind of weapon they have on the drone, and there ain't gonna be any bandaging you up because it's gonna be too late. Things gonna be all the way up on you. Boom, 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 boom. You're done, right? So it's gonna be totally different, right? Garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, and it definitely ain't no wrapping you up and bandaging you up and doing any of those type of things when it comes to the hypersonic ICBM missiles and the ICBM missiles that they have, and the laser beams from the chariots. So there is no helping you. There is no escape. And then this is a totally different war from what had been fought ever, right? Yeah. So this is Daniel chapter 12 verse 1. It says, at that time shall Michael, right? And that proves right there, man, right there in itself, Michael, right? The archangel Michael is going to be in that time. So you're talking the Charagma is going to be full scale. Those that's getting it, those that they're forcing to get it, and those that will not get it, right? It's going to be full scale on, it's going to be on 10. Famine, death, pestilence, all sorts of things are going to be happening. I mean, all sorts of wars, all sorts of things are going to be happening. It says, Michael, stand, right, up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, right? And Michael is not Yahushai, or who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. No, he's the archangel of war, right? And he might, I believe it's in Daniel, right? When you go back, it's in Daniel. I don't know if it's 4, chapter 3 or 4. He basically came and helped Yahushai fight, get control of the mind of the Persian king, right? And so they're not the same person, right? So it says yeah, which standeth for the children of thy people, and Daniel is an Israelite, right? And this is an end time prophecy. So this in itself tells you who the Lord's coming to save and to deliver, because this is an end time prophecy, and he's coming to stand for the children of thy people, which are Israelites. And there shall be a time of what trouble? Jacob's trouble, Yaakov's trouble, right? Which tell you who he's coming for, right? That in itself, which as which as never was since there was a nation. So this is what I was mentioning earlier. This is a thing when you got a war. Normally, your war is with warriors, and the warfare is with noise and garments rolled in blood, and then this one is just all-consuming fire, or all-consuming different type of technologies that's never been seen before. This is goes into as such as never has since there was a nation, even to the same time, right? What time? Time of judgment, World War III, Armageddon, right? And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, right? The elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall be delivered. Even one that shall be found. Oh, everyone's like everyone that is found written in the book, right? Everyone that's found written in what? In the book of life, right? Which really goes into they were predestined. They were already, it was already preordained, right? Let me just scroll down right here. Same chapter. But I'm going to go to the 3rd verse, Daniel 12:3. And it says, and they that be wise shall shine, right? Basically wise enough that we're converted, right? Be converted to the truth, right? Which really is ultimately a gift, but I guess you're just gonna be still considered wise, those that have took in the gift, took in the penny, and operated in it, worked with it, right? Took the penny and you worked out your own salvation, right? That's you're wise enough to do that. That'll make you wise, right? You don't turn back into the ways of the world, right? It says, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, right? And when the sun's out, the firmament is shining pretty bright, right? Which is the sky. It says, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forevermore. So when you look into the sky, you can see the stars shining. So that's what the Lord said. We're gonna shine like the firmament, man. Like in the daytime, like in the night, it's gonna be like we have that light, we have that glow, So he giving you, because everybody else is gonna be in complete and utter darkness, right? That's basically what it's saying, because this is gross darkness, the people, right? This nation, which is Babylon the Great, Babal, which meaning confusion, right? It says, but thus, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. So now we're at the time of what? Of the end. And we're gonna prove that we're in the time of the end, being you're not gonna have the warfare that you used to have. Warriors are not gonna fight the way you're talking unmanned drones. They have an unmanned Navy vessels, unmanned submarines, right? They got high energy, direct energy laser weapons that's on these war machines or war vehicles, right? So that's something different, something you have never seen before in time, right? So even to the time, even to the time of the end, many shall run what to and fro. You got vehicles, cars, planes, right? Trains, and now you actually have what? Drones, stealths, the B-50, was it B-52 bombers, and the Su-35. You got all these different hey, you got the ICBM missiles. Wait, don't forget it's gonna burn with fuel or fire, right? Don't forget about the ICBM missiles. Hey, let's not forget hypersonic ICBM missiles, right? Which they're saying that Japan has one, and they said that they operated it here in America, here in California, right? Which that means America is going to have them one probably shortly, right? If that's not the one that they're building for America, right? They having the Japanese help them figure out how to build one, right? And obviously, so it says yeah, and so many many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase, man. And that's the time that we're living in. When you got drones and things with automatic weapons on it, and you got things you would have never thought before in battle, right? You can even just go back 20 years from now. You're not thinking there's going to be a laser beam in your warfare or drones in that sense, I mean, I'm pretty sure they had a couple little things, but nothing the way the drones are now, right? Obviously, no hyper optic. I mean, what is it? What is it? It said something about fiber optics, like a fiber optic, so it doesn't jam systems, right? You would have never thought of that, right? So yeah. So knowledge shall increase, right? So we're in that time. Yeah. So this is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day, right? The time that what Michael is going to stand up for his people. Time of of all these different the Norse Autosoclorium pushing forth their agenda, the Charagma, right? 15-minute cities on a heavy level, the famine, the deaths, the pestilence on a heavy level to get you to cause you to get down with their program, so to speak, man. Right? They're gonna cause you. They can't force you. It's still gonna be your decision. But that's a heck of a. It's like they say, yeah, we gotta It's an offer you can't refuse, right? When you're starving, right? It's gonna be like an offer you can't refuse, man. It's like the mafia, right? But unless you got the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, who's gonna guide you, man, right? I mean, the Lord can give you spiritual power where you can go without eating. I mean, you got to think of Yahushua went 40 days and 40 nights without eating or drinking. That's insane. Because you figure, hey, I could probably go 40 days without eating, but without drinking any water, I don't know if I could do that. That's crazy. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmel Shai, you could do all things through Yahweh Shai who strengthens you, right? Right? All things are possible through Yahweh Bashmel Shai, right? Says, yeah, and because at last for that day is great, right? It is great, so that none is like it. See, going right back into what that is, man. Ain't no day gonna be like this, man. When you got laser weapons, unmanned drones, unmanned vehicles, unmanned planes, right? You talking war machines. I mean, you talking about this thing is coming with all sorts of automatic weapons, warfare, nuclear capability, flying over you unmanned, right? With no feelings. This thing gonna have a thought or a feeling or whatever, no, wait, give me a second chance, forgive me. No, this thing is unmanned. It's just a complete thing of war, right? It says it is even the time, right? Of what? Of Yahweh's trouble, of Jacob's trouble, right? Even the time of Yahweh's trouble, but he, right, the elect, shall be saved out of it. For it is for it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakakwadash of hosts, which means armies, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, right? The birth certificate, the social security cards, the the ghettos, the vadios, the reservations where you Israelites are at, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, gonna break you out of your prison, man. Right? So you could be set free. says, I will break the yoke from off thy neck and will burst the bonds, right? Because you go to jail, what do they call a bail bondsman? So you even gonna have a bond on you. You know how you could be free. You're not necessarily in jail, but you got bonded out. But then there's still something against you because you're just bonded out, and you technically still got to go to court, and you still got to see if you can get whatever happens because you're just on bond. You're out on bond. But the Lord said He's breaking even the bonds. So no, you're going to be completely free, right? And strangers, right? Esau, Edom, Elam, Ham, right? Moab, Ammon, right? Ishmael. Oh yeah, don't forget about Ishmael. Ragged. Oh man, yeah. Hey, we're gonna bust Ishmael up, man, because Ishmael got it. I don't know. Yeah, because that's one of the ones yeah. Esau, Ishmael, and Ham is like the top ones on my list, man. Right. So it says yes, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him, right? Which that him is talking about what of Jacob, right? Which Jacob uh became a nation, right? A nation of people, which he wrestled with the angel, and the angel called him Yaiquab, right? Right? Yasha Allah. He, Yah meaning he, Shar prince, Allah power, right? So we're gonna be, man. We're gonna be son. We're gonna be sons of God, man. We're gonna be gods, right? We're gonna be in the image, in the likeness of Yahweh Shai, man. We're gonna be, gods on earth, right? We're gonna have that God body, man. We're gonna have the angelic body. So, yeah, this is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Adon, right, which means Lord, right, which is dealing with Yahweh Shai, the Adon Yah, right, will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens, right, this rulership, this current rulership, right, shall pass away, right? So this current, it's not talking about the actual heaven or actual earth is going to be destroyed. It's talking about this particular rulership shall pass away with a great noise, right? Which the ICBM missiles are going to come down, right? And it's going to make a great noise, right? But not like how it was, because you're not going to be able to roll anybody with, grab that. Like I said, you ain't going to be able to grab their garment and make a splint and do all these things and patch someone up, right? Right? You're not going to. They're going to be garments rolled in blood, right? With a great noise, and the elements, right, shall melt with fervent heat. So look, when that war type of warfare is going to happen, right? That's why it says with burning and fuel of fire. So when you got that type of thing going on, there ain't no, the same type of noise or some same type of warfare, right? Melt with fervent heat, the earth also, and the works that are therein, right? The buildings, the so-called landmarks, all the things that they have created, right? The so-called memorials to Esau, right? All that's got to go. Yeah, all the works therein shall be burnt up, right? Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 34 and 11. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, the owls and the ravens shall dwell in it, right? Which basically speaking about America, Babylon the Great, right? Because that's how many missiles are going to be shot on this place, that it's gonna turn this place into a desert, complete desert. And so the Lord said, then nothing's going to dwell here, well, after the burning, but desert creatures, right? And I believe another scripture says doleful creatures, right? So just talking about desert creatures are going to live here in Babylon the Great, right? Because that's how bad it's going to be done. That it's not going to be a way for you to survive here. It's just going to be. It's only going to be for desert animals, right? And he shall stretch out upon it the lines of confusion, right? So basically, showing you that these you have these city lines, and you got these borders, and you got these different, like I said, landmarks and all these different things that Esau created, right? The Lord says He's just going to wipe that completely out, so that there's no more no landmark, right? And it says upon it stretch out upon it the lines of confusion and the stones, right? Seeing you got the buildings, which buildings are just man-made mountains, right? Right. Stones of emptiness, right? So the Lord's gonna completely wipe it all out. So this land is completely empty, right? Yeah. Come back right here to 2 Peter 3:10. I'm gonna finish it up, and it says, "And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also, all also, and the works that are done therein shall be burnt up." See, it's gonna be completely, you know, gone. You're gonna be able to see where the buildings and the landmarks and all these other things were at here in Babylon the Great, right? And that's part of that war, right? The Third World War, the war that's going to end all wars. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, right? What manner of person ought ye to be, right? So this is going back into the wise, when it says that those ones were wise enough to follow the Lamb, right? For every which way that he went. Those there were some that were wise enough to follow the law, statutes, commandments, the faith of Yahushai, and stand stiffly for the name, man. Stand stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, unmovable in this truth, right? And it says, what manner of person ought ye be? What manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? That's where that's what you ought to be doing. But you could do what you want to do. So you think, right? But there's a judgment for all these things, right? Right? At the end of the day, you could do but you may not like the result that you get from doing what you want to do. Looking for the looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of our power, right? Which is Yahweh and Yahushai, which He's going to send back His Son, Yahushai, wherein the heavens being on fire, right, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we according to His promise, Salakia, look for new heavens, right? We're going to look for a new rulership, right? Because this old government, the old heaven, or the one that's going to get taken out the way, it's done for. So we're going to look for new rulership, which starting with Yahushai, King David, the 144,000, the rest of the elect, right? Which by process of elimination, obviously it's gonna be the kingdom of Israel, right? Even though, I mean, it's really Yahushai's kingdom, right? But Yahushai is an Israelite. It's really King David's kingdom also, and by process of, he's an Israelite too, right? So, right? So it says, that according to his promise, right? The Most High gave to Abraham, right? So Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, right? Right to the lineage, the seeds, the father, to this. So I don't know how you get everybody in the world into that. That doesn't make sense. Because if that's the case, the Lord would allow Abraham to give his thing to his servant. Remember, he had a pretty good servant. He was loyal, all that stuff. Compared to the rest of you heathen, you've never been loyal to us. You only tried to kill us, right? He was a pretty good devil at the time, right? But I'm pretty sure in the next time he came back in his regeneration, he was probably one of the ones that were trying to kill us too. So that's why the Lord said, no, you can't give it to him, right? He had to wait till Isaac was born, which Isaac is Yahushai, if you understand. So this is all full circle to give it right back to the Israelites, man. Everything's about giving it to the Israelites, right, man. That's it, point blank, period. It says, for new heavens, we're looking for new heavens and new earth, and a new earth, so like, yeah, wherein dwelling, wherein dwelleth righteousness, right? It's going to be embodied in it. It's going to dwelleth. It's going to embody righteousness, man. It's going to be because you know how Esau's the border of wickedness. We're going to be the border of righteousness, right? Yeah. So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. The elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, to the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists in the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to your sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada, and we want to say Kwam Yasharala and a Baba Ball.